eerie soundtrack. Start with a chilling sound that grabs attention immediately. Logo animation. Dark fog and shadows as your logo fades in, followed by a ghostly flash. Quick, scary tease. Flash brief. Spooky clips, like a ghostly figure or haunted house. Spooky voiceover. Ready to face your fears? Welcome to a haunt video shung, where horror lives.
When the night falls and the world sleeps, there are things hiding in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to come out. Have you ever wondered what might be hiding under your bed? Tonight we'll tell you 10 true, disturbing stories of what was found beneath the bed. And trust me, after hearing these, you might think twice before looking down next time. Story 1. The Shadow Under the Bed. One night, a young girl woke up in the middle of the night, hearing strange sounds from under her bed. She thought it was just the wind, but then she saw it, a shadow moving under her bed. Thinking it was a trick of her eyes, she called her mom. But when her mom checked, the shadow was gone. The girl never slept in that room again. Years later, the house was sold, and the new owners found a hidden note under the floorboard. It simply read, "The shadow under the bed isn't just a shadow. It's waiting." Oh, I'm serious. Story 2. The Eyes That Watched. A man was lying in bed, unable to sleep, when he felt like something was watching him. He looked down to find a pair of glowing eyes staring up at him from beneath his bed. Frozen in fear, he didn't move, thinking it was just his imagination. But the eyes kept staring. Suddenly, the eyes blinked, and the man jumped out of bed, turned on the lights, and looked under. There was nothing there, just an empty space. But the eyes had been real, and they were still watching him. Story 3. The Invisible Friend. A boy had an invisible friend who lived under his bed. His parents thought it was just his imagination, until one night they heard him talking to someone under his bed. The boy said he's not leaving. He likes it under there. When his father checked, the boy was sitting on the floor, talking to empty space. After a few days, the boy went missing. No one ever found him, but they say if you listen carefully, you can hear a voice whispering from under the bed. None. Story 4. The Breathing Noise. A young woman was lying in bed when she heard soft, steady breathing coming from underneath. At first, she thought it was just the wind or a fan, but the sound got louder. Terrified, she looked under the bed. There was nothing there, but when she got back into bed, the breathing was still there, right beside her head. The next morning, she found a small note under her pillow. "I will always be with you." Story 5. The Hand That Reached. A girl was getting ready for bed when she saw a hand slowly stretch out from under the bed, fingers just brushing against the carpet. Terrified, she jumped back and turned on the light. The hand pulled back under the bed, and when she looked under, there was nothing there. The next night, the hand came back. Only this time it was closer. She ran out of the room and never came back. But later, workers found something under the bed. A broken, dusty mirror with the reflection of a hand reaching out from it. Story 6. The Lost Toy. A little boy was playing with his favorite toy when he accidentally dropped it under the bed. He reached down to grab it, but something cold grabbed his hand instead. He pulled away, terrified, but the toy was still under the bed. His parents couldn't find any explanation, but the boy always said, "It wasn't my hand. Something else grabbed me." Story 7. The Noises at Night. Every night, a man heard strange noises under his bed, scratching, tapping, and soft whispering. He ignored it at first, but one night the noises were so loud he couldn't sleep. He finally mustered up the courage to look under. There, staring back at him, was a face, pale, twisted, and smiling. The face didn't blink, didn't move. It just stared, and then slowly it vanished. He never stayed in that room again. Story 8. The Little Feet. A mother heard the sound of little feet running around her bedroom at night. She thought it was her daughter, but when she checked, the girl was asleep in her bed. Confused, she checked under the bed but found nothing. Later that week, when the mother was cleaning, she found small, muddy footprints under the bed, leading nowhere. She never saw her daughter run around at night again. Story 9. The Smell of Rotting Flesh. A man moved into an old house and started hearing noises from under his bed at night. At first he ignored them, but then a foul smell began to fill the room, like rotting flesh. One night he finally checked under the bed. What he saw terrified him: a pile of old bones, decomposing right beneath his bed. The smell was so strong he had to run out, and he never returned to that house. Story 10. The Forgotten Baby. A young couple had a baby, but the baby never slept well. One night the mother heard crying from under the bed. When she checked, she saw nothing but darkness. The crying stopped when she turned the light on, but then it started again, louder and clearer. The couple searched the house for days, but the crying came from under the bed. They say the baby's spirit was still there, waiting for the mother to remember.